In this video, lads, I put 11 Messis in the team to try and win the La Liga title. Now, when I mean 11 Messis, I mean 11 Messis. Same height, weight, attributes, position, it's literally Messi. I pretty much went to Camino a load of times and cloned him. As usual, guys, like and subscribe as I'm trying to stay more consistent. I can only apologize for this. This is abysmal. Now, moving to our first game, Bilbao-worthy opponents. And, well, forget showing you all the goals, as I will literally gouge my eyes out as we got ruined 9-0. And this game was definitely a sign of things to come. The following two games gave me some promise though, as even though we had a huge disadvantage, we beat Rayo Vallecano 7-5. I mean, Messi was still dreadful in goal. He didn't even try to save some of the shots. But I guess the talent of the Messis on the attacking side of the pitch were good enough to secure us the 7-5 victory. Game after was Atletico Madrid, and again it was a pretty incredible performance from the Messis, only allowing Atletico to score one goal. Not only that, Messi 7 scored one of the best goals of the season in a big 6-1 win. Not all games were sunshine and rainbows though. In the Champions League game against Inter, our faults really showed. And this was the game which I noticed Messi can't defend or play in goal. As I swear to God, we didn't even look like we were trying, and we lost 13-0. And that properly hurt the goal difference. Back to league action, and Getafe took a page out of Inter's book and pretty much kept us in our own half for 90 minutes in another defeat. This one ending 9-0. So I guess it was a slight improvement.
You're smoking crack!
Frankfurt in the Champions League was next, and to my surprise, even though the goals were back and forth, in the 89th minute, Messi 9 scores to give us our first win in the Champions League. Next was Real Betis, and after some fight from my 5'7" magicians, they managed to score 4 goals. And even though we conceded 4 goals and also drew the game, I was ecstatic as we hadn't lost in 2 games. And I know Messi isn't a keeper, guys, but he definitely had money on us losing this game. Swear he looked like he gave up before he even put the shin pads on. Champions League football was back, and unfortunately, to save us the embarrassment, we pulled the double off against Bratislava and somehow got our first win without conceding the goal in the second leg 4-0. And yes, I do know they're a bad team, but when you got a 5'7" keeper, it doesn't matter who you win against. After this, like a recurring theme of the video, we get fully shanked in our next game. Celta Vigo destroyed us 7-1, and I wasn't phased at all, to be honest with you. It was kind of the norm at this point. Then after 10 matches, we were 11th place with 13 points, as we had 4 wins, 1 draw, and 5 losses. At this point, I was very pleased with my Messis, obviously overlooking the god-awful amount of goals we've conceded.
Jesus fucking Christ, that's terrible.
Not only that, Messi 10 was 3rd top goal scorer this season with 8 goals. So I guess there was some good coming out of these horrific performances. In the Champions League, we were in a better position though, as we were close to qualifying with 2 games to go. We had 5 more points than Frankfurt, so I was confident we would go through. Back to the La Liga, Almeria were next, and we narrowly beat them 6-5 in an 11-goal thriller. But that was the last win for us for a while, as finding a win with this team was like finding water in the Sahara. We got battered around for the next 5 games, with all of them ending up in big losses. The first win in a long time came versus Real Sociedad, where Messi 5 put one in the bottom left-hand corner for the 3 points. But when there's good news, there is also bad news, as after our final Champions League game in a 6-1 loss versus Inter Milan, I found out that we got knocked out and sent to the Europa League. Honestly, do not know how we bottled that, considering we had a 5-point lead, but we did either way. And it was less than ideal, but I accepted it, considering the circumstances. Next, we had some cup games, the Super Cup semi-final at the Bernabeu, and the Spanish Cup 3rd round versus Coruña. And both of them were a total annihilation. Against us, obviously. But I didn't even care. I didn't even want to win one of those Mickey Mouse trophies anyway.
Thanks for the joke.
And besides, we went on a roll after those losses, breaking our record and winning 3 games on the trot. 3-1 versus Valladolid with an absolute crazy goal scored from pretty much the halfway line, and 4-1 versus Mallorca with some howlers from their keeper, and 5-2 versus Cadiz from some good old-fashioned finishing. And after 20 games, Barcelona were middle of the pack in 10th place, which again is very respectable in this part of the season. We weren't dropping places really, and we weren't really going up either. But the thing that wasn't respectable was the goals conceded, as we were worst in the league. But on the bright side, we were second in goals scored, so I took that as a win. Our goal difference was bad, but still wasn't the worst in the league, as 20th place Girona had -31 and we had -27.
What do you want, a fucking medal?
The winning streak did not stop after Cadiz. We constructed 3 more wins in the following games, taking us to 6 on the bounce without a draw or a loss. It was like a late Christmas miracle, as we beat Vallecano 4-3 and Girona 4-2. And also won our first leg of the Europa League knockouts 4-1. So I was over the moon, as I knew there'd be no chance of us bottling this one. Honestly, just push me off a bridge.
You gotta be kidding me.
I don't know what happened, but we dropped the ball and got finesse 6-1, sending us out 7-5 on aggregate. Unbelievable. As soon as I thought we had some kind of form. Then we had the second Atletico Bilbao game of the season, and the Messis were looking for some revenge from the opening game of the season. And we actually do get some redemption in a 4-1 win over the side, which set us up for another run of losses. Don't know what happened after the Bilbao game, but we took our foot off the gas and let everyone beat us for a solid 5-6 games. And these were not light losses either, they were brutal ones, like the 7-1 thrashing versus Betis and also the 8-0 loss versus Atletico. Like I said, we did get a win within those games against Valencia 6-3, but no matter what we did, we were still in the mud. A lot of that came down to the fact I had stuck a man who has played attacker his whole career in the keeper position, and he has no bloody clue what he's doing. With that being said, looking at the table after 30 games, we were clearly holding our own, as we had only dropped one position this whole season and pretty much stayed mid-table. Also, Messi 10 was top goal scorer in the league at this point, so he had a real shot of getting the golden boot, showing he was my alpha Messi out of all the Messis, with Messi 4 following in his path with 15 goals and in 5th place in the goal tally. To finish off the season, I wanted to go out with a bang, and we did at the start with a 3-2 win against Elche and a 2-1 win versus Espanyol. And after pretty much our 10th loss of the season against Real Madrid, we beat Sevilla 5-1 from some top tier finishing from our Messis. Also ran Valladolid around for a laugh with some beautiful goals, one of them being an outrageous free kick from 30 yards out, which ended our season in 10th place and a -41 goal difference. Still better than Girona, which is embarrassing for them. We won 18 games, drew 2 games and lost 18 games. Which isn't surprising, as I swear we either won by a load or lost by a load. As in the league, we were the highest scoring team that season, but also the highest conceding team that season. In the end, Messi 10 did win the Golden Boot this season with 32 goals, and he beat out the likes of Cavani and Karim Benzema, who got 29 and 27. Also, honourable mentions for Messi 4 and Messi 6, who both got 19 and 15 goals this season. And to conclude this video, I think we found out that Messi cannot play in goal. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, it would help out the channel massively, and I'll see you in my next video.